Good morning, everybody. I'm freezing. Absolutely freezing. And I think my coffee pot's broken, so. Good morning, Addison. Good morning, Michael. So last night, I was working on a new course that I have coming out in the next week or so called Feel Good Now, and it's all on manifestation and it's all on creation and just certain principles and everything. And so I've been going through a lot of different things, trying to put everything into there so that everybody has a whole bunch of stuff available for that manifestation process. And while working through that, I came across the practice of mental picturing. And I do this without even thinking about it. So I'm pretty sure that I learned it eons ago and just never even realized that it was a practice. When I knew that it was a practice, I just have not ever, and I even tell people about this practice, but really breaking it down. And I thought, this morning I'm going to actually share the gist of this practice. I'm not going to go into full depth here because we really don't have time, but I am going to make sure that I get you guys this basic practice and the importance of it. So if you want the whole practice, well, then that's coming out in that course in the next week, and along with a whole bunch of supportive exercises and practices to do. But this one right here, it really is about mental picturing. So what are you picturing? And here's the thing, doing 6 a.m. conscious coffee, or 6:15 as it is today. The reason why you want to get up in the morning and you want to start your day earlier and you want to really focus in on positive things first thing in the morning is because everything, we're so open and influenceable in these early hour moments. We haven't, typically our egos haven't stepped in, the world hasn't come in to condition us for the day and to cause scarcity and restriction and friction and and all the stuff that can hold us back. So you want to grab yourself first thing in the morning and you want to make sure that you get a really, really good start to your day. So the first thing I want you to ask yourself is, what do you picture first thing in the morning? Like when your eyes open and you're laying in bed, what is that first picture that comes to mind? Just think about it. Like, what was that first picture that you had when you woke up this morning? Or maybe you're laying in bed. What was that picture when you first opened your eyes in bed this morning? Think about what that was. Was it what you would refer to as positive, or is it what you would refer to as negative? Which one do you lean towards? And then what kind of feeling did it have with it? What was the feeling behind that picture when you first woke up? Were you, oh my goodness, I need to jump out of bed and run to work, and felt anxiety, like you're late? Or did you have a picture and like some stress come over you because there's a whole bunch of stuff due today? Maybe it's bills, maybe it's some big proposal. Maybe you went to bed fighting with your partner or something and you feel stressed or worried about that. Or did you wake up in peace? Because here's the thing about peace. If you wake up in peace, it's like a middle ground. You've got really good belief. You've got lots of good positive energy inside. And you can really make a conscious decision from the level of peace to get excited, to move into gratitude, to move into something higher vibrational, because peace is just kind of like, it's just peace, right? Everything's in harmony. So there's not a whole lot of disturbance when we feel peace. That's why we call it peace. Or did you wake up completely excited, like, whew, I can't, you know, like I'm excited. Today is Tuesday and I've got this going on and I got that going on, and it's just boom, 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 right? Where were you at? What were those first thoughts? What were those first feelings when your eyes first opened up? And did you even take the time to kind of envision what your day is going to go like? Did you just envision what your day is going to go like? And I'm really going to start with this right here, because you can take mental picturing to any level, obviously. You can say that you want to focus in on a big goal, on some sort of big manifestation, and that's exactly what you do want to do. But there's little mental pictures like starting your day. How do you want to start your day? What was that picture that you lined up for your day first thing? Because if you woke up in that state of anxiety and stress, bounced out of bed, and did not take the time to kind of like just become you in that moment, then you're probably letting the world lead you instead of you lead your world. And if you got up in a state, if you woke in a state of peace, then hopefully you were laying there and you could go like, oh, yes, it's going to be a good morning. Because from that state, you can say, it's going to be a good morning. It's going to be a great day. It's going to be this. It's going to be that. Notice I'm vocalizing, it's going to be a great day. I'm putting that out there toward the day. I'm going to have so much positive experience today. I'm going to have fantastic opportunities come to me today. You know, thank you for bringing me all the amazing people that you're going to bring into my life today, and the learning experiences, and maybe it's going to be an adventurous day. Maybe, I don't know, whatever you want to say there. What did you do? Or did you just really create nothing? Did you just say nothing? Did you just get up, get out of bed, go get your coffee, your tea, your juice? Did you just kind of line nothing up? Are you just going to let your world take you completely? So there was absolutely no thought in your mind as to what your day is going to be like. Really think about it. So the first thing that you need to realize is it's really important, because these pictures that we hold first thing in the morning, even if we think that we're holding nothing in our mind, that we have this like what I was just talking about, that state of nothingness. That state of nothingness, there is still, like I said, you're letting your world take you. So the very first thing that happens to you is going to basically dictate the way your day is going to go, and that energy that you're going to carry into today, potentially the week, potentially the month, the year, if you just consistently wake up in the state of nothingness, where you're just letting everything carry you. If you wake up in a state of stress consistently, of some sort, or fear, anxiety, overwhelm, something like that, anger, maybe frustration, then how's your day going to ever go any other direction than to support that, if you don't make that change right there in those first moments? And the way you do that is to really take a good deep breath, pause, breathe into yourself deeply. Don't just jump out of bed. Allow yourself to embody yourself in that moment, because you've been sleeping, you've been off, and who knows, like you're off here in dreamland, right? Come back into your physical body, really get present in the moment, be in gratitude, and start to set your own stage for your day. I do this by not letting my feet touch the ground before I get at least 10 gratitudes out, whatever that might look like, you know. So I'm a firm believer in stating gratitudes. And the reason I do gratitudes is because you have to have this realization that you create nothing. You absolutely create nothing, okay? So here we are talking about how you can create this beautiful picture and manifest everything that you want in your life. And now I'm telling you that you create nothing. And it's not that you don't create anything, it's that you are the vessel, the channel that God, universe, uses to create through. You're not actually doing it, but you are setting the tone as to what is manifesting into your life. That tone is going to relate out and give you your experiences. So if you want the tone to be joy, happiness, love, you know, success, wealth, abundance, health, all that good stuff, then you have to start your day with that kind of tone. If you really want your day, or maybe you really don't want your day to start with fear, stress, worry, anxiety, overwhelm, anger. So I believe that most of us don't want that. But by focusing in on not wanting that and thinking about it first thing in the morning, guess what? It's exactly what you're going to get, because you've now set that tone in anger, frustration, you know, fear, doubt, whatever those feelings are, by the thoughts that you're thinking first thing in the morning and by the actions that you're taking. So if you come back to a state of gratitude, don't let your feet hit the ground, like the practice that I do first thing in the morning, then even when it is a tough morning for me to have gratitudes, I go ahead and try to get a few out, and then all of a sudden there's something that kind of shifts in me, and I move up and I'm like, okay, yes, you know what? And I have this awakening moment where I go, I need to have, I see people sneaking around behind me. You're trying to get your hat. Don't just ask for your hat, dude.
You want to get in your way.
There you go. Okay. He has his hat. That, I'll take a note. A little sip of coffee. Okay. So, if you focus in on gratitudes, you're going to have more chance to bring your elevation up a little bit and have more positive stuff kicking. Okay? So this is what I want you to ask yourself. I want you to ask yourself, how can you facilitate making conscious connection to God, universe, first thing in the morning? How can you actually, what are the practices that you can do that feel good to you for you to do before you get out of bed, or as soon as you get out of bed? Like maybe you get out of bed and you take the first 3 to 5 minutes to just sit in stillness someplace and just breathe and focus in on those thoughts and start to see what thoughts are laying there and start to consciously choose which ones you want to give energy to, give power to, give creation to, and which ones you just want to just let them soften and go to the background, okay? So, or maybe you want to do the gratitude practice, or maybe you want to get up first thing in the morning and journal, or, you know, maybe your ritual is to go and take a nice hot shower first thing in the morning. Take that hot shower with there not being any noise and focus in on your mental practices while you're showering. And imagine yourself getting cleansed in multiple ways, completely. Goodbye, dear. Getting completely cleansed. It's first day of school back from spring break, so you're going to see kids moving behind me every now and then and coming and getting things from around me, just FYI. But just figure out what that practice is for you so that you can set the tone of your day. And then ask yourself also, how do my desires come about? Where do they come from? Like, you really need to, because there's a certain amount of freedom and power that you can gain, and even worthiness that you can gain when you fully understand that you're not creating anything, that you are just the vessel that God is using to create everything, okay? So how do your desires come about? Really, really ask yourself that. Do they come about because you're forcing them to come about? Or do they come about because you're opening up to them to come about, and you're making space for them in your life through your thoughts and your feelings and then your actions, okay? Where are they actually coming from? Are you in full control of it, or is there something more out there that is actually in control of it, and you're only setting the intent by putting out your desires, okay? And then the next big thing, I mean, the stuff in the morning practice, don't ask yourself necessarily those every single day. You certainly can, especially if you're having a tough day. Like, ask yourself, how can I connect with God today? How can I open up with God today? But in general, you'll probably find that you'll get a little practice going, something that's just completely in alignment to you. And then you can just, basically wash, rinse, repeat type thing. You just keep going through. And really tap in and see where you're at on how you believe about how manifestation occurs here and there. Because you might go, well, I know that God creates and that that I don't create. And then you want to just kind of take in this whole victim status type thing. But it's not, you're not completely turning it over where I have no choice. That's not the thing. You have the free will to choose your thoughts and to choose the emotion that you attach to them to get the results that you want. But you have to let go and let God to really fully allow it to materialize into your life. And that's the only reason why you're kind of checking in consistently with, oh, who's doing this? God's doing this. Who's doing this? God's doing it. Because here's the thing, stuff will start to manifest into your life. All of a sudden you'll have this happen and that happen. You'll be like, woohoo, I did that. And yes, you did that, but you did that by being the vessel. Okay, you did that by being the vessel. So make sure that you have that understanding that you are the vessel and that it is what is actually doing it. You're setting the intent with your thoughts, with your emotions, and then you're taking the little action steps that you're intuitively guided to take. You're paying attention. That's how it happens. But all of that comes from source, comes from God. Okay, and that's exactly what you need to really get in alignment to. Okay, so it's not I became He-Man or Superman and just forced this to happen, right? No. Look at where you are assuming limitations in your life. Where are you allowing limitations? Where are you believing that there's limitations? Why do you believe that there's limitations? Really examine that. Look at those things, because if you're allowing or assuming that there's limitations in life, then you are assuming that you can't have the things that your heart desires, the things that you want. Now, granted, you may not get exactly what you want, how you want it, when you want it. And that's why it's so important to really pay attention to feeling and to feelings, and to really, open up to the creation of the things that you want the most, that feel good to you. So increase your feel good. And if you're just focused on you feeling good and feeling good is what? Not feeling stressed, feeling happy, feeling joyous, feeling free, feeling passionate, feeling in love, feeling connected, feeling safe. These are the things that we go for, right? So those are the things that we go for. So if you're focusing in on those kinds of feelings and you're just focused on those feelings, then everything that is going to support that is going to come into your world, versus I'm going to focus in on, oh my God, I'm feeling really stressed today. I feel so scared today. I don't think I can pay those bills today. I don't, oh my goodness, what about this with my kids? What about this with my health? What about this with my job? That tension, that friction, okay? So remember that your mental pictures provide you with, those mental pictures first thing in the morning especially, provide you with the direction that your day is going to carry and that your week, month, year will carry. So it's all supportive of each other. What did you wake up with is really, really an important picture to take into mind here. We tend to limit God. We shackle, handcuff God. We do this by what I was just talking about, like the whole, limitations, right? So what kind of limitations do you have? It's really important, because you have to realize that if you're trying to manifest something, you're trying to create something, and it's not happening, you're hitting resistance, there's friction, there's something there, then what is actually going on is that you, in some way, are shackling God. It's not God saying no. It's your mental picture, the feeling, the things that you are doing is not in alignment to this thing that you claimed you wanted, this thing that you claimed that you desired. So when you experience friction or resistance around something that you're trying to create, realize that the only error is in your thoughts and in your feelings, it's not God saying, no, you shouldn't have that. No, I won't give that to you. You need to earn that. You need to do this, you need to do that. That's not the story at all. What it is that your thoughts and your emotions are not in alignment to this thing that you are proclaiming that you want. So in that essence, you're limiting God from being able to deliver it because your focus, you may think that you're focused on that, but I'm telling you 100% you are actually focused on the reverse negative effect, not on the positive effect that you're looking at. Somewhere in your being, you are actually looking at the negative, not the positive. And if you want this to happen, you have to switch your negative to the focus of the positive, okay? And, that can be like, let's say you want to make more money, you're really stressed out about money, and you're like, no, I'm gonna make, $10,000 more this year. I'm gonna make $20,000 more this year, whatever. Maybe that's getting a pay raise, maybe it's getting a new job, maybe it's going into business for yourself, maybe you are in business for yourself, and maybe it means that you're going to sell another house. If you're a real estate agent, you're going to sell another house. If, like for somebody like me, I need, like, I don't know, 2-3 more clients, something like that, to make that additional income than what I had last year. And I'm like, yes, you want that. Okay. Yes, you want that. But then all you do is you focus in on like, oh, I feel really stressed. I feel fatigued. I have to say no to myself here. And that constant saying no and that constant focusing on like, I'm going to get up and look at my bank account and see what's not in there. Well, if you're going to get up and look at your bank account to see what's not in there, guess what's not going to be in there every single morning? Exactly what you perceive is there, it's going to be there. It's like it's going to be that small amount because you're waking up with that like, oh my gosh, I can't do this, I can't do that, there's nothing in the bank, I'm broke, I'm broke, I'm broke, I'm broke, I'm broke. And when you say I'm broke, I'm broke, I'm broken, it's not the words, it's the thoughts and the feelings that go with those, that you need to really pay attention to. That's why you're broke, because you feel broke, because you act broke, because you're telling yourself that you're broke, because you're telling God that you're broke, because you're reminding God that you're broke constantly. So God says, okay, be broke. Have fun with that. Like, you asked for it. Here you go. This is what you're asking for. I'm broke, I'm broke, I'm broke. You're broke. So, see where you're at on those kinds of things. Realize that it really is, the error is in your thoughts and in your feelings, not in God's action. Okay? And as you create these mental pictures and you throw them out, at some points you might say, I'm going to go do this. You might paint it big to like get that excitement up. On the front side of things, or when you are exploring something new for sure, you do not want to put that mental picture out for public viewing, you could say. You don't want to go and scream it from the mountaintops right away. Keep it inside so that it stays clean and clear and it doesn't get diluted down by other people's egos and opinions. Because have you ever noticed when you go out and you say, I'm gonna do this, like I'm gonna go build this business, right? I'm gonna go build this business. I'm gonna buy a new house, but you can't really afford the house that you're in. What do your friends or your family say? They go, well, that's really great, but you might want to make sure that you can take care of your responsibilities that you have currently right away first before you go do that, or you say that you want to change jobs, and you go, and your friends and family go, well, that's really great. I thought you were happy where you were at. I thought it's probably smart. You don't want to have a whole bunch of different jobs on your resume. So if something happens, you want to make sure that staying at one place is a good thing long term. That you want to These thoughts, opinions are other people's ideas, and they will dilute down your strength, your desire, your passion, and big one, your belief in self, in manifestation, in creation. So on the front side of things, you don't want to blab to everybody, yeah, I'm going to go do this. And then they're going to say, how are you going to do it? And then you're going to be like, I don't know. And that's fine to say that. But realize that if you throw it out there and you're throwing it out there, this is like throwing the biblical term of throwing pearl before swine, right? Well, here you go. If you take all this beautiful creation, thought, and energy and emotion that you have to create this life that you want, and you throw it before people who are just going to stomp on your desires and your belief, then you're throwing that pearl before swine. And it's really just going to dilute it down and make it so much harder for you to actually create, because when you do that, your belief is at risk, okay? Whether you might go, oh no, I don't care what other people's thoughts and opinions are. Bullshit. It gets to all of us because we want support from other people, we look for support to other people. And when they make a comment, even if we don't know it's not going to get to me, it just eats away. And that little just eating away like a mouse in your attic type thing, over time it does this damage, and it just destroys the whole foundation of what that picture is. So until you get really, really good at conscious creation, where you can just stand up and go, yep, I'm doing this, and nobody doubts you because you've already done it so many times, and they're like, oh, you're the luckiest person on the planet. I totally believe that you can do that. Don't talk about it. Don't talk about it. Just go open up to it, love it, and do it. Experience, get successes under your belt so that you have this strength beneath you, lifting you up, so that you are the luckiest person that everybody knows, that you know, and that you have this confidence, because then you can proclaim it, you can own it, and you can mark it on the calendar and say, this is going to happen. And everybody's going to surround you in that moment and go, yeah, I can't wait to see what you're going to do next. That's fantastic. Okay. There you go. So there's plenty of things that I am always working on in creation that I don't tell a soul. I'll tell a soul. And then there's other things that I've had really a lot of success on creation, and I just go boom, and I put it out there because I know that I will get other people's positive energy working with me, and then I'll have that support because I've already shown that I've been a conscious creator there. But the things that I haven't quite mastered yet, but I'm wanting to master, I'm looking for those successes, I keep them internal. Keep those mental pictures going. I write them in my journal. I do those kinds of things, but I do keep them more internal. So pay attention to that, okay? Where you're at. And then the next thing is really with this is examining where you see scarcity and lack in your life. Where do you see that scarcity and lack in your life? Because if you're seeing a lot of scarcity, a lot of lack, of not having in your life, then realize that again is something in here that is not in alignment to what you're wanting. So come back to taking responsibility for that scarcity, for the things that you're not having, and that means own it. Like Jim Rohn. Anybody who knows Jim Rohn or has ever read or listened to any Jim Rohn stuff, he talks about, he's deceased, but in his teachings, he used to talk about, like, own it, put it on the fridge. If you're, he would go to extremes. So back in the 70s and 80s when he would say this stuff, but he would say, if you're ugly, say, I'm ugly, I'm fat, I'm broke, I'm unhealthy, I'm this, I'm that, right? Put it on the refrigerator. Put it on the refrigerator. And it's not that you're actually writing it down and putting it on the refrigerator. What he's talking about is exactly what I'm saying here. Take responsibility for the shit that's in your life. If you've got scarcity, lack, if you are feeling unhealthy, if you are, you know, not in the place that you want to be with wealth, health, love, you know, any sort of relationship, your work, connection with God, anything. Realize that that is you. It is not anything else. Time to stop being a victim. Time to stop handing your power over to every other thing in the world and just giving that to somebody else, because then yes, you can blame, that's fine, but you're the one handing over the reins of your life to somebody else. You can take those reins right back. It's yours. Own your life. Own the shit that's in your life, because if you own the shit that's in your life, you can then own the blessings that come into your life too. Realize that you are that vessel of that creation. Again, it is, what are you opening up to? What are your thoughts and your feelings? It is not God's error that you got the shit in your life. It's your error that you got the shit in the life. Where are you thinking? What are you thinking about? And what are you feeling about? Okay. And feel your mental picture. Feel your mental picture. I mean, I've said it a few times throughout here, but feel that mental picture. What does that mental picture that you have feel like to you? Now, on the front side, when you're painting a really, really big picture, you're going to feel like, ooh, you know, it's too big. It might make you nauseous. It might make you pissed off. It might make you frustrated. Until you get to that bubbly, excited Christmas morning feeling of enthusiasm, you're not in alignment to it, okay? So realize that the reason why you're painting this mental picture and working on things around it, and that's why I focus in on trying to, you know, like ask to literally put that mental picture out to, I want to feel good. I want to feel, you know, I want to experience all these blessings. I want joy, love, health. I want to feel vibrant. I want to feel passionate. I want to feel safe. I want to feel all these things, okay? That you might have. If you're focusing on that, that's going to put that out there to bring you little things into your picture, into your life experience, to give you those feelings. Then focus on those feelings so that they grow, they magnetize, and they bring more to them, okay? If you're focused in on fear, frustration, doubt, anger, blah, 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 fill in the blank, depression, then that's what your mental picture is, and that's what's going to magnetize to you more, because whatever you focus on grows, it magnetizes. Be conscientious of what you're magnetizing to you, okay? And that comes through your feeling. The thoughts create the feelings, and then from there you get action, which is your final step. Of course, take action. Pay attention to the things that come to you. Where are those little things that you want to take action on? You know, if you say that you want a new job, let's say, and you want this pay increase, you want to make $20,000 more this year than what you did last year, and you haven't even really looked for jobs, all of a sudden notice that somebody's going to probably pop up in your life. Like, you might be at work and one of your colleagues will say, oh yeah, John was telling me last night that blah, 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 his company's hiring, they have this position, you know, and I was looking at it, it's whatever the amount is, right? $75,000 a year, let's say. It's $75,000 a year. And that's $20,000 more than what you make right now. Well, if that's the universe saying, okay, we hear you, here's an idea. And then all of a sudden you see, you know, something come through on social media, or you get an email, or a headhunter calls you, or something, okay? That's all randomly, and you haven't even really put anything out there. And you're like, oh, well, that's kind of interesting. That's those spirit God sending opportunity to you, saying, is this what you want? Is this what you want? Is this what you want? Trying to get into alignment with you. That's God saying, here. Now it is up to you to take action on different things and figure out exactly what you want, not what you don't want. Focus in on what you want, not on what you don't want, okay? So if if you look at this job that, you know, John was talking about, and you go, oh yeah, that's great, but, you know, I can't qualify because the qualifications for that is blah, 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 and I don't have that. What are you doing right there? If it's not the job for you, just go, well, that's really great. God's offering me all these different things. Maybe I should explore something over there. Maybe I should explore something over there. That one doesn't feel quite in alignment, but I can't wait to see what comes in next. And then start taking action in other little ways, like start doing those little things like that. Maybe put out your resume and decide, hey, every day I'm going to put my resume out to 2 places or something like that, whatever. Or I'm going to contact so-and-so that was, you know, messaging this person or that person or whatever. It is whatever that is. You want to date, put yourself out on you know, a dating site and figure out what that looks like. Work on those structures, start putting those things out after you do your mental picturing. And I really do suggest that you take the action to write this stuff down. Write down what you want in a sense that you already have it, okay? And if the picture seems too big for you, shrink it down, okay? Shrink it down. So, okay, guys, there you go. There's mental picturing for you, the overview, the gist of it. Should get you started. You should, from that little bit, be able to create a few little small successes so that you can build on that, so that you can start standing on your soapbox and going, woohoo, yes, I can create. I'm a co-creator. I'm a conscious creator. I'm not just going to just let the world carry me, but I'm actually going to consciously do this stuff. Okay? Because you're creating right now. You created this moment. You're creating this day. You created your week. You created the last 90 days. You created last year. Everything in your life that you have right now, you created by being the vessel for God to work through, by having thoughts that you've been having, by having the feelings that you've been having. That's how you've been creating. Are you deliberate, or are you creating by default? Choose. You get to make that choice every single moment of your life. What have you been doing, and how can you change that to being conscious about it? How can you be deliberate? Just gave you a whole bunch of basic steps towards that. So yeah, there's more to come, Can't wait to get this course out. Can't wait to get a couple things out. Going to be doing a whole bunch of talks this year too on creation, on manifestation, how to pull your sex into manifestation. I've done a few conscious coffees on that already, giving you guys a few little key points here and there to kind of focus in on. There's so much beauty, so much bliss out there, you know, and just living in that state of freedom and abundance and that fuck yes life, as I like to call it. These are simple practices. They do take effort to focus in on, and that's the biggest thing, is remember that what you focus on magnetizes more to it. So what are you focusing on? Okay, I hope that this was helpful. As always, if you found this conscious coffee helpful at all, or just interesting, or you thought of somebody that might need to hear it, push the little share button right there. Click like, make comments, tag a friend, give some love, okay? So I will catch you tomorrow morning around 6 a.m.-ish for another Conscious Coffee. And maybe later today for, what is this, Tuesday, Relationship Tuesday stuff. So maybe possibly if I get around to that, if I think about it, okay? I love you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow.